Welcome to the Cannabis Equipment News Podcast.
Hi, I'm David Manti, and welcome to a new episode of the Cannabis Equipment News Podcast. With me this week are Francis Descoteaux and Jonathan Bossé with Sumo Cannabis. Thank you both very much for joining me today.
Our pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Francis, I'd like to start with you. How did you get your start in the cannabis industry?
Well, I've been passionate about cannabis. I've been consuming cannabis since I was in the early 20s. Always been a big sports fan. I do sport myself too, but and I never really liked alcohol, so cannabis was my drug of choice. But I did my way. I became a psychologist, but I was always waiting for the opportunity for it to be legal as a consumer. But when Justin Trudeau started talking about legalizing it in his when he was running for prime minister here, I started talking to Joe about hey, let's get into the business. At first, I thought it would be like a model. I was naive. I thought it would be a model a bit like Colorado. So more chance for small business, mamas and papa's shop, but it's not the case here. It's we didn't know in what we were getting into, because it's pretty. You need a lot of money. It's really structured, and being small in Canada, it's not an easy thing to do. But that's how we got in.
Jonathan, how about yourself? How'd you get into cannabis?
Like cannabis, a bit like what Frank said about I consumed that since a while. So I always liked that plan. I was defended when it came to legalization and all the stuff that we heard, and it wasn't on science. So you bring science, you talk. I did a lot of things like that, like debates or things. It was important. It was an important topic for me. And I was a social worker, and I was working with Frank. And when Justin Trudeau talked about that, we said, okay, how can we do that? And so we start from scratch, and we had a personal license to start to play with the plants, and and after that we arrived with a big factory.
We met Eric, and which is a businessman. We're not, as we said, and we needed that part of the equation. And Eric was is a pretty well known businessman here in the region. So he got some investors on board, and we're working, the three of us, since I'd say 2018 at least.
And the three of you are co-founders of Sumo, correct?
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about Sumo. What is it that sets you guys apart in the Canadian cannabis landscape?
Well, we're pretty new. We got our license just at the beginning of this year. So our product is not even in the market yet, because we had a couple of harvests, and we're about to get our product in market. We want to transform it. We want to check our options before getting it into the market. But what sets sort of our philosophy of enterprise, we're two guys working in human sciences. I'm a psychologist, as we said, and Jonathan, social worker. So we like the team we built. We have a great team based on human values. So that's a first thing. And the second thing is where we are consumers ourselves in Canada. As I said, it's a lot of businessmen because we need a lot of money, but they're not all weed enthusiasts. So we are. So we love the plan, we love the product, and we want it to reflect that when we sell it. And also we have a aeroponic technique of culture that I think is not that common in cannabis world.
I have to imagine that coming home from cannabis is a little bit easier than coming home every day from psychology or social work.
I'll talk for myself. I'd say not necessarily. The days goes fast. It's still a lot of challenge. It's a challenging business to be into. So it's different, but it's not necessarily easier, but it's motivating because it's our project. It's our dream.
As a social worker, I was closing the door of my office and came back the day after.
Great point.
And that's it. Here, you can work in night if you have to.
Yeah,
so.
It's our business. So, if there's an alarm, it's our. Same thing for me. When my day was done, I closed. You have to be able to do that when you work in that field, to be able to close the door and to get back to your life. But here, it's our business, so we're always a bit like thinking about it.
Why aeroponics?
Why not?
Aeroponics has a good advantage for the saving nutrients, saving a lot of cleaning time, saving water,
much less waste.
Yeah.
You don't throw. We don't throw anything. We don't have any rock wool, any soil or cocoa to work with. So it's pretty clean all the time, and you don't throw out much.
It's a bit faster as well. So and the turnover, you can make it faster, so you can make more grow in a year.
There are some certain challenges you got to learn how to use the system, and because it is different, but for now we're pretty happy.
And another thing, sorry, it's at the end when you do the flush because you have all the roots there, you can flush easily, and your product is there is no way that there is nutrients or any kind of salts, or everything is clean when we harvest,
which gives a clean smoke and
more pure. And you guys are building or have built what I believe is the only 4-story aeroponic cannabis flower facility that's currently in production. How did you guys do that?
That's a bit of the contribution of Eric. He can be a bit stubborn and crazy for the first time.
Yeah. We saw a system like that in Panama. There was
another company.
And a Congress. So we saw that, and that inspired us. And when we bought that facility here, you have 33 feet high. And we saw that. So it was like natural. It's all empty, all clean space. So we just did it.
How can we be efficient in using all the space we had? And we work with Essence, which is it's already known and work in the cannabis field, and they already offer a 2-layer grow, but they don't not much more than that. So we had to work with them and work with our racking company here, Montel, and convince them that it could work, and we did it. Yeah.
What is the benefit of having the 4 tiers maximizing the space?
Yeah, for sure. It will help us to make 8 rooms like that. So it was a cost per feet decision, and maybe we will change some things inside the system. We will see in the future the face. But as for now, we are quite happy of that.
The only challenges for now, and we're getting better at it, is the turnaround between harvest and the time we need to clean the rooms, because these are racking. How do you say that? It's movable racking, like in you know what I mean?
In Skyjack.
so our staff work in Skyjack, but they only can work like two Skyjack at a time, so it's longer for that. But we're getting better and faster for that.
Yeah.
What kind of yields and quality are you experiencing with your harvest?
Right now we harvest Apex OG, and the first run was the trial, let's say the first batch. But what we did just now with the Apex OG, the flower are beautiful. We still work and learn on that. The quantity, we will see now the real quantity that we can get, because we filled up all the room with those plants.
We're still testing what's more efficient.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does the system make it? Oh, go ahead.
Just to go with that is I think for now what we've seen, and we heard a bit about that, is the a much better quality, but maybe a little less quantity. But
okay.
We'll see, and it depends on each strains. But the quality is amazing.
Yeah,
it's yeah.
What has the learning curve been like, working with aeroponics, trying to train yourselves up on it, as well as the operational system?
Yeah, it's pretty challenging, but we had the chance to work, because I had a medical license in Canada, so I could have a small grow in another facility, and Essence was kind enough to provide us with a small set. So Jonathan and me had the chance to experiment with it. So we started here. And we could help the team because we already knew how it worked. But our master grower is still learning now. But we have good harvest. But I know we can do better.
What type of have you run into any issues, like with maintenance, or you had mentioned cleaning a little bit? Any issues like that?
Want to go?
I would say no, not that much of issues. Like
you have to take care of the cleanliness. It's got to be clean between grows. It's got to be taken apart and put back together. That's what we learn. It's more efficient, and just because we have also a propagation machine from Essence, and it's important to clean it thoroughly between grows.
Have you had any issues staying within the limitations of Canada's cannabis regulations, like the 30% THC or anything like that?
Let's see. That's a Quebec particularity, the 30%.
Okay.
Sorry. So it's mostly it's in Quebec that we are limited by the 30% THC. So the other markets are available if we have flowers over 30% here. And we also want to develop the market of extract concentrates. And in Quebec, it's a little limited because of that. But as I said, the other provinces are open for market with us.
So sometimes we are happy to have more than 30. And sometimes we are sad. Depends. So it's
depends on the market.
It's funny.
You had mentioned the water savings. What kind of labor savings are you experiencing as a result of going with the 4-tiered aeroponic system?
It's because of the cleanness and all the fertigation. When you have to fill up the bottles and you forget them until the bottle is empty. So you don't have to touch that system or play with that a lot. We do some defoliation and all the stuff, but that's normal. So yeah, it's because there is no soil, there is nothing, so it's easier, it's cleaner. You have less time in the wash bay and everything. So it's a lot of small things that explain why it's cost efficient with the people, and actually we don't have a big team for what we do compared to others. So yeah, it's we are good. We are good with that.
Yeah, it's a pretty clean environment too. So with no soil and with no cocoa coir, they tend to be less flies, less IPM to do. So regarding that, yeah.
Well, and as part, and I have a limited knowledge of the system. Is part of it the ability, especially as a startup, to sort of fine tune your recipe as you're growing your new strains?
Exactly, totally. That's what's fun is we've got the way it works is you got a row of 8 tables, and the first table as is considered a mother table because the nutrients is starting from that table. Underneath there's how do you say a tub? Let's say there's a tub with the nutrients. The fresh water is coming in that tub, and the nutrients are mixing in that tub. All the sensors are in there, and they're feeding the 7 other tables. So yeah, you could isolate like 8 tables like that from 8 other tables and do some R&D to figure out what's the best recipe.
How would you guys describe the state of the cannabis industry in Canada right now?
It's a good question.
Well, for me, like my knowledge of the market and what we do and what we always wanted, it's to make good quality. If you have real good quality, a good brand
for a decent price,
you have a place in the market, and we will do the trouble with that. We are very exciting about into 2023. In the beginning of 2023, we'll start sailings, so it will be we are very exciting to see how the people will react on that.
There's a lot more LPs than it used to be, of course, at the beginning. So there's more competition, but I think the market is still progressing because we got a little problems with what we call the gray market, where you get some non-really official sales that are being made through the web. So there's a lot of consumers that are not really on the clean market yet, and for different reasons, especially in Quebec, because as we said, it's limited to 30% THC. So if you want to have a good horizon at 60%, you'll have to buy it somewhere else, and sometimes it's not from a legal producer. So the market is still. I don't think we. Even here in Quebec, how many places to buy SQDC?
I don't know how they are now, but approximately 200. But 200 it's
really small.
If you compare to the SAQ, the place where you can buy your wine and alcohol, there is like so many more. It makes no sense. So that's when we will open more and more
the market.
Yeah, the market will be
better and selling points too. So here in Quebec, we're trailing in that. If you compare to Ontario or BC, much more places where you can buy cannabis.
Is the way to set yourself apart in quality and craft?
Yeah. We are almost there. Like the only thing is we have to decide: do we trim by hand or do we trim with the Mobius? That's it. Because we can like have a brand like craft, and maybe the rest on craft. We'll see how we will get there, but we have the both technology for that.
What is your When you're looking for new equipment or bringing new automation or anything like that in-house, how do you guys approach your research before you bring new equipment in-house?
Oh, I would say it's been a long time that we bought the equipment. I think we are good now. So it's research contact. We are in the industry, like we've been to lift at the like since a while now. That so Lift Expo, we follow that, and so we had a good idea with all the criteria that the critics of the review. So yeah, and like as for now, we are very happy about what we decide to select.
A challenging thing in Canada is that you'll get your license when everything is built. So and you won't get financed from any banks
Right.
if you're not in operation, and if you can't show that you have sales. So it's all private money. So we have to take some we have to do a lot of work with small staff at the beginnings, mostly Jonathan, Eric, and me, and so yeah, we did the research, but now the team is growing, and the more and more we have more and more help for that to choose and to have a procedure to choose our equipment, and we'll have more budget to do so too.
Okay. When you have a partner like Essence Grows, do you lean on them quite a bit for their expertise especially when you're in the initial stages of grows or throughout the entire process?
Yeah, for sure, because there's a lot of little details, little problems here and there which are normal, but we have to stay in close contact, and even our master grower has contact with other growers working with the system, and everyone gives himself some help, and yeah. So yeah,
and at the beginning they were with us, helping us understanding the system, and now we are quite more established on that. We the learning curve, it's not over, but it has been done.
And they came and visit a couple times, of course, because a 4-layer is pretty exciting for them too. So yeah, we have a really great relationship with them.
As cannabis connoisseurs, have you enjoyed the product that you've created so far?
Yeah, our last grow was pretty impressive because we pretty much are daily consumers. So takes a lot to to impress us, and it did. So yeah, we're quite happy about that. A lot of resin. It's got to be a great strain to extract too. So yeah, for now the quality is there.
What should the Cannabis Equipment News audience expect from Sumo going forward?
We want to be funky. We want to present different strains, the strains that we don't see much on the market, and we always aim to be to sell good extracts. So in Canada, we have to go to that step 2 in the licensing process, which can be a long process too. So we're taking it step by step. We don't want to go too fast. We want to be in a quality company with quality product, but eventually we want to sell some solventless concentrate. We like rosin, we like bubble ash, all that good stuff that tastes good.
Jonathan, same question for you. What are you looking forward to in terms of Sumo's product line, and where you guys plan to go?
Being sexy and having quality. It's
right.
like, yeah, it's the quality. When we are not happy about like what we have to be like on the coche, I would say in French. So yeah, it's what will enter inside the pot. The consumer will open it, and he will be happy about that. And we are very happy about what we see. That the products, the smells is good. We send it for lab, so we don't have the percentage yet, but we are very happy about what we see.
Jonathan, have you ever had, since you started Sumo, that moment where you're like, I maybe go back and open that door at social work?
Well, no. It's well, sometimes it's like we said, sometimes it's hard because we have a lot of things to think and to plan, so sometimes it's a challenge for sure. And but no, I never think at my whole life, it's
you don't have time for that.
we don't have time for that, and I'm very happy to have done that decision in my life. And I didn't want to do that all my life neither. So like I was looking for a solution to escape of that. And I'm happy that we are here and working and looking the camera and seeing the people doing bucking. We were 12 people bucking, and we like, it's our team, and it's the beginning of the dream that we talk at school when we work together, and now the snowball get bigger and bigger, and then bring more people, and now we are there, and we have good quality products, so it's exciting.
Francis, how about yourself? I mean, it sounds like you guys are really excited with the product that you're putting out and your new lives, as you say. Ed, have you ever had that moment where you're just like, I don't know if I made the right choice?
No, never. First of all, I'm still a psychologist. I've got some clients some nights, and I have a day still working for the schools where I used to work. So I get to taste a bit of that life too again. But no, it's such an exciting project. It's such it's so magical to be able to have. As Jonathan was saying, it was one of the things I was eager to see is the team with who are we going to work and what's going to be the Sumo family. And that's so exciting too. That's the human part of the work. So yeah, we knew that that would be challenging, and it's always will be. It's a business, but I'll never regret jumping into that.
Where did the Sumo name come from?
We were at a certain point. I'm laughing because a lot of people ask that question. We were looking for names. A lot of names at the beginning here in the market in Canada that were like really bad. We have to confess they're really bad names. Always with the name Cana in it, or Med, or it was like all cliches. And we were looking, and the first name we got weren't that great either. But I was like consumed by that, and I had a woke dream. You know what I mean? In the morning when you know you're aware you're dreaming. I rarely have those, but I had one of those morning.
It's because of the cannabis,
maybe. And I saw a big sumo wrestler just doing his and between his hands there was a big fireball, and I just looked at him and I said, "Sumo, that's excellent," because it evokes a power, a strong power, and it evokes a bit like concentrated, the concentrated power, bang, it hits you hard. So we stuck with that, and it's a universal name. It's French. Everyone say Sumo. It's just four letters. So marketing wise, we found it was appealing. So that's where it comes from.
That's excellent, guys. I mean, I can tell you guys make a great team. Is it easy working with each other?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, me and Jonathan we're friends. Yeah. Why are you laughing? It's good.
Oh, he had a look. He had a look. Yeah.
No, we've been friends before, and I always said to Jonathan, I don't want this project or experience to waste that. I don't want to lose Jonathan through this experience. That's more valuable than me than Sumo. So that what makes it strong. I think we're a good
communication. Also, it's important in team, and yeah, it's not there. We don't have any problem.
Well, that's excellent, guys.
And we build a team that is a reflection of that. We want people that have fun here and that are good workers, but that are pride. They have pride in our product and our company.
Well, I mean, that's part of it. You know, at the end of the day, you do want to produce a good product, but you also want to cultivate a good team. You know, these are the people that surround you every day.
Exactly. They're the bone, the structure bone.
Yeah, they are. We have a very good team, and we're
proud of that also as well.
Yeah. And we say to them, thank you very much to be with us
every day.
Well, you know, is there anything that we might have left out or anything in particular that you'd like to make sure, you know, we don't miss?
We love cannabis.
We love cannabis. Free cannabis everywhere.
Yeah.
Free cannabis everywhere.
Freedom.
Oh, man. Yeah. We need to free cannabis here in Wisconsin. I tell you that.
Yeah. I hope you do, guys.
Thank you. Well, Francis and Jonathan, thank you both very much for taking the time. I really do appreciate it.
No, thank you, Dave.
It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Before we get out of here, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can also help us out a lot by leaving the podcast a positive review on whatever platform you use. Finally, if you want to email the podcast, you can reach me at david@cannabisequipmentnews.com. Email the podcast in the subject line. For Francis and Jonathan, I'm David Manti. This is the Cannabis Equipment News Podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Cannabis Equipment News Podcast.